Zorax was a celebrated alien chef in the grand city of Cygnus Prime, a shining jewel in the galaxy. Known for his amazing skills and high standards, he ran the most famous restaurant in the entire galaxy. But despite his success, Zorax felt a nagging emptiness. The endless parade of exotic dishes from across the stars had lost its thrill. He longed for something new, something to ignite his passion for cooking once more. One evening, during a special intergalactic food festival, Zorax was invited to taste dishes from a newly discovered planet, Earth. The Earth food display was modest compared to the grand culinary creations from other planets, but Zorax was intrigued. The chef presenting the Earth dishes was a simple human, a small-time cook named Jim. Zorax approached the humble stall expecting nothing extraordinary. Jim, with a shy smile, offered Zorax a small, unpretentious plate of food. It was a dish called macaroni and cheese. Zorax raised an eyebrow but took a bite. The moment the food touched his tongue, he was struck by an explosion of flavors he had never experienced before. The macaroni was creamy and cheesy, with a comforting richness that melted in his mouth. It wasn't just the taste. It was the warmth and simplicity of the dish that touched Zorax deeply. He had tasted the most sophisticated dishes from across the galaxy, but nothing had ever moved him like this. Zorax was fascinated. He had expected Earth food to be mundane and unremarkable, but instead it was vibrant and full of character. He asked Jim about the dish and learned it was a staple of human comfort food, often made at home with love and care. The idea that such a simple dish could hold so much depth and emotion amazed him. As the night went on, Zorax couldn't stop thinking about the macaroni and cheese. He tried other Earth dishes, each one surprising him more than the last. From the spicy kick of chili to the sweet delight of apple pie, every bite revealed a new layer of human culinary artistry. The simplicity of these dishes, combined with their rich flavors, was like discovering a new universe within food. Back at his own restaurant, Zorax was unable to focus. The excitement from the Earth Food Festival had consumed his thoughts. He reviewed his previous culinary creations, but found them lacking compared to the newfound inspiration he had gained. His once beloved dishes now seemed bland and uninspired. Zorax couldn't shake the feeling that he had stumbled upon something truly special. He spent days researching Earth cuisine, trying to understand its history and significance. He learned about the role food played in human culture, how it brought people together and evoked powerful emotions. The more Zorax learned, the more he felt drawn to Earth. The galaxy was full of incredible cuisines, but none had touched him the way human food had. He started to dream about leaving his prestigious job and moving to Earth to learn more about its culinary secrets firsthand. Zorax knew this was a huge decision. He would be leaving behind a successful career, his fame, and the comfortable life he had built. But the pull of the Earth food and the chance to explore this new world was too strong. He felt a deep desire to experience the simple pleasures of Earth cuisine in its native environment. One day, after much contemplation, Zorax made up his mind. He decided to quit his job and leave Cygnus Prime. His colleagues were shocked and confused. They couldn't understand why he would leave behind his esteemed position for something as ordinary as human food. Despite their protests and questions, Zorax remained resolute. He knew he had to follow his newfound passion. He prepared for his journey to Earth, excited and nervous about what lay ahead. As he packed his belongings and said his goodbyes, he felt a mix of anticipation and fear. Leaving everything behind for the unknown was a big step, but Zorax was ready for the adventure. The discovery of that simple human dish had changed his life forever. As he boarded the spaceship to Earth, Zorax was filled with hope and excitement, eager to explore the world that had captured his heart and imagination. Little did he know, his journey was just beginning, and it would be full of unexpected challenges and incredible discoveries. Zorax's decision to leave Cygnus Prime was met with surprise and confusion. His colleagues and friends, who admired his skill and success, could hardly believe he was abandoning his prestigious position. Many thought it was a whim or a fleeting fancy, but Zorax was firm in his resolve. He had tasted something extraordinary and felt a deep urge to explore it further. The days leading up to his departure were filled with a flurry of activity. Zorax had to make arrangements for his departure, including resigning from his job, packing his belongings, and organizing his trip to Earth. Each step was a reminder of the life he was leaving behind. His colleagues, especially his mentor, Chef Xander, tried to dissuade him. "Are you sure about this?" Chef Xander asked, concern etched on his face. "You're at the top of your field. Why risk it all for a taste of Earth food?" Zorax smiled gently. "It's not just about the food. It's about finding something new, something that has inspired me in ways I never imagined. I have to follow this feeling." Despite the doubts and warnings, Zorax continued his preparations. He went through the long and tedious process of obtaining the necessary permits and clearances to travel to Earth. The bureaucratic hurdles were frustrating, but he was determined not to let anything stand in his way. As the departure date approached, Zorax took a final walk through his restaurant. The place had been his pride and joy, and leaving it was not easy. The memories of countless successful dishes and happy customers filled him with both pride and sadness. He said his goodbyes to the staff, who wished him well but were clearly puzzled by his decision. The day of departure arrived, and Zorax stood at the spaceport, his bags packed and ready. The sleek spaceship that would take him to Earth was waiting, its hull gleaming under the spaceport lights. He took a deep breath, feeling a mix of excitement and anxiety. Leaving everything he knew behind for the unknown was daunting, but the pull of Earth was too strong to ignore. The spaceship's interior was comfortable, with advanced technology designed for long journeys. Zorax settled into his seat and looked out the window as the spaceship lifted off. The familiar sight of Cygnus Prime gradually faded into the distance, replaced by the vastness of space. As the spaceship traveled through the stars, Zorax's mind raced with thoughts of Earth. He imagined the bustling streets, the diverse food markets, and the simple yet profound flavors of human cuisine. Each hour of the journey brought him closer to a new adventure and a new chapter in his life. Despite the excitement, Zorax faced moments of doubt. Was he making the right decision? Was Earth food really worth leaving his esteemed career for? But each time these thoughts crossed his mind, he remembered the incredible taste of that macaroni and cheese and the way it had reignited his passion for cooking. During the trip, Zorax passed the time by studying more about Earth. He read up on human history, culture, and, most importantly, its food. He learned about different regional cuisines and culinary traditions. This research only increased his excitement and anticipation. As the spaceship approached Earth, Zorax's heart raced. He was about to step into a new world, one filled with both challenges and opportunities. The spaceship entered Earth's atmosphere, and Zorax could see the planet below, a beautiful blue and green sphere. The spacecraft landed smoothly at a spaceport designated for interstellar visitors. Zorax disembarked, his heart pounding with anticipation. He looked around at the bustling spaceport, filled with people from various planets and species. It was a far cry from the sophisticated and orderly environment of Cygnus Prime. Zorax took his first steps on Earth, feeling a sense of awe and wonder. The air was different, with a mix of smells and sounds that were both unfamiliar and intriguing. He was finally here, ready to explore the world that had captured his heart. As he left the spaceport and ventured into the city, Zorax felt a thrill of excitement and a bit of nervousness. He was on a new path, one that would take him through the rich and diverse world of human cuisine. His journey had just begun, and he was eager to see where it would lead. Zorax stepped out of the spaceport and into the vibrant city of New York, Earth. The city was bustling with activity, and the air was filled with an exciting mix of sounds and smells. Zorax was overwhelmed by the sheer energy of the place. Tall buildings reached up into the sky, and streets were crowded with cars and people. He had never seen anything like it. He walked through the streets, taking in the sights. Street vendors were selling food from colorful carts, and the smell of different cuisines filled the air. Zorax was fascinated. He could see people eating hot dogs, pretzels, and something called pizza. The food looked simple, but the aromas were intriguing. Zorax had prepared himself for this adventure, but nothing could fully prepare him for the overwhelming sensory experience of Earth. His first stop was a small diner he had read about, known for its classic American breakfast. He sat down at the counter and looked over the menu. It was full of dishes like pancakes, bacon, and eggs. When the food arrived, Zorax took his first bite of pancakes drenched in syrup. The sweetness and fluffiness were unlike anything he had tasted before. The bacon was crispy and savory, and the eggs were cooked just right. Each bite was a new discovery. He realized that the simple, everyday foods of Earth had layers of flavor and comfort that were different from the complex, exotic dishes he was used to. After his breakfast, Zorax decided to explore more of the city. He visited different neighborhoods, each with its own unique character. In Chinatown, he tasted spicy noodles and dumplings that reminded him of the vibrant flavors from the galactic markets. In Little Italy, he enjoyed rich pasta dishes and pastries that were both comforting and delicious. Despite the excitement, Zorax faced some challenges. The city was huge and navigating it was not easy. He had to learn how to use public transportation and figure out how to find his way around. The people were friendly, but Zorax felt like an outsider, struggling to understand human social norms and interactions. One evening, Zorax found himself at a food festival in a local park. The festival was filled with food trucks and stalls offering a wide variety of cuisines. He saw people enjoying everything from burgers to sushi. Zorax was eager to try as many different dishes as he could. He sampled tacos, tasted barbecue, and even tried a dish called nachos that were covered in cheese and spicy toppings. As he walked from stall to stall, Zorax felt a growing appreciation for the diversity of Earth's food. Each dish was a reflection of different cultures and traditions. He was excited by the way human food brought people together and created shared experiences. It was clear to him that food was an important part of human life, not just in terms of taste, but in terms of culture and connection. Zorax also began to notice how food was not just about flavor, but about the people who made it. He saw how families and friends gathered around meals, sharing stories and laughter. It was a different kind of culinary experience than what he was used to, but it was deeply meaningful. By the end of his first week on Earth, Zorax was both exhausted and exhilarated. The city had given him so much to explore, and he felt like he had only scratched the surface. He was excited about the culinary adventures that lay ahead and eager to learn more about the foods and traditions of this fascinating planet. Zorax returned to his temporary lodging each night with a full stomach and a mind full of new ideas. He knew that his journey was just beginning, and he was eager to dive deeper into the world of Earth cuisine. Each day brought new discoveries and insights, and Zorax felt a renewed sense of purpose and excitement. He was ready to embrace whatever challenges and opportunities lay ahead as he continued his exploration of human food. Zorax had spent his first few weeks on Earth soaking up the sights, sounds, and flavors of New York City. He had tasted countless dishes and learned a great deal about human cuisine, but he knew that to truly understand and master Earth's food, he needed to dive deeper. He needed hands-on experience, and that meant finding a place where he could work and learn from the ground up. One day, while wandering through a lively street market, Zorax stumbled upon a small restaurant called Mia's Kitchen. It was a cozy place with a simple sign and a warm atmosphere. The smell of cooking wafted out onto the street, and Zorax was instantly drawn in. He watched through the window as a team of cooks prepared food with skill and passion. The place looked welcoming, and Zorax felt a spark of hope. He walked in and spoke to the owner, Mia, a kind-hearted woman with a welcoming smile. Zorax introduced himself and explained his background as a chef from another part of the galaxy. Mia listened with curiosity and offered him a chance to work in her restaurant. She was intrigued by his unique perspective and eager to see what he could bring to the kitchen. Zorax started working at Mia's Kitchen the next day. The initial days were challenging. The kitchen was much smaller than he was used to, and the pace was fast. Zorax had to learn to work quickly and efficiently in a new environment. He was responsible for preparing simple dishes and assisting the other cooks. It was a far cry from the glamorous, high-end restaurants he was used to, but Zorax embraced the challenge with enthusiasm. One of the first things Zorax noticed was how different human cooking was from his galactic experiences. The techniques were often simple but required precision and care. He watched the other cooks closely, observing their methods and learning the secrets behind their dishes. Mia's Kitchen was known for its hearty comfort foods, and Zorax was eager to understand the art of making these beloved dishes. Mia, noticing Zorax's dedication, took him under her wing. She taught him the basics of American comfort food, explaining the importance of using fresh ingredients and mastering fundamental cooking techniques. Zorax was a quick learner, and his skills soon improved. He began to experiment with new flavors and combinations, blending his galactic knowledge with traditional Earth recipes. One day, Zorak suggested creating a special dish for the restaurant. He wanted to combine some of the unique ingredients he had discovered on Earth with his own culinary expertise. Mia was open to the idea, so they worked together on a new creation. Zorax experimented with flavors, using fresh vegetables, herbs, and spices. The result was a dish that combined the richness of Earth's ingredients with a touch of galactic flair. The new dish was a hit with the customers. They loved the blend of familiar flavors with an unexpected twist. Zorax's creation became a popular item on the menu, and Mia's kitchen gained a reputation for its innovative approach to comfort food. Zorax felt a deep sense of satisfaction and pride. He was beginning to find his place in this new world, and his contributions were making a difference. As Zorax settled into his role, he also started to connect with the local community. He made friends with the regular customers who were fascinated by his stories and his unique perspective on food. They were eager to learn about the different cuisines he had experienced and were always curious about his latest culinary experiments. Zorax's days were filled with hard work, learning, and discovery. He felt a strong sense of belonging at Mia's kitchen and was grateful for the opportunity to be part of something special. He continued to explore Earth's food culture, attending local food festivals, visiting farmers' markets, and trying new recipes. By the end of his first few months at the restaurant, Zorax had found his place. He was no longer just an outsider in a new world. He was a valued member of a team and a contributor to the vibrant food scene of New York City. His journey had been full of challenges and surprises, but it had also been incredibly rewarding.